Thank you, Mr. Paul Alaji, for joining us. First thing first, what exactly does the federal government's control over social media advertising, what does it entail?
Okay, so before now, federal government was not really playing significant role in the control of advertising on social media. Recall that ARCON, that's the advertising
Regulatory
for all
Council of
registered
Nigeria.
practitioners. Yes, that is the agency of government that is responsible for regulation of all advertising in Nigeria. Before now, those who are practicing on radio, on television, on poster or billboard, they usually vet their content. And it is to this extent of vetting that it becomes really very necessary for people to pay for vetting of advertising, which may include doing regular vetting, which was around 25,000, now 35,000, and they're doing accelerated vetting, which are about 150,000, now about 250,000. And there are different classes. Now, with the new law, which is relatively new, the federal government through ARCON has been able to now add those advertisements going on social media. Why do we need regulation for advertisement? Before I go to implication, the reason why I'm saying this is I play in the field of advertising, and I'm also an economist. So I'm able to explain the two sides and the implication of both. So when you speak to advertising online, and the role here is to ensure that the advert that is going up on online does not abuse any religion. You are not saying something wrong or defaming other religion. Number two, is not showing nudity. So these are the things that are regulated by ARCON, which I think is fair, which I think is good, because more than ever before, we've seen people display wrong content online, on air, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you remember one advert that said Mama na boy for one of the telecom companies. I don't want to mention names.
Yes.
So Mama na boy, that telecom organization might have done it with the best of intention to actually capture the minds of the persons being advertised to. But some persons felt offended that why not Mama na girl? Must he be a boy? Are you trying to say that a boy child is superior to a girl child? And you notice that advert was dropped. There are so many other adverts that directly condemn competition, that wants to actually take out competition. And there are false claims also. People saying, come and advertise online. They'll say, come and advertise. Some of these gaming, not even gaming, these pyramid schemes, most of the time, they use online platform to advertise that if you, for instance, one that is also on traditional media, they say if you buy a 200 recharge card, you are going to win an aeroplane. How do you explain that? Then for some of these other platforms that says if you put in 5,000 naira, within 1 week, you are going to get 15,000 naira. What business are you going to do with it? So the reason for advertisement, regulation on advertisement cannot be overemphasized. It is very important. The question now is doing it online. Because for those who are doing traditional media, radio, television, they are doing billboards, it's already part of them. Whatever you are advertising, the content of advert, not the content of the program, advert components, then it has to be regulated. Now, the challenge with online regulation is that where is this really coming from? If somebody is advertising to Nigerians but is abroad, how do you meet them to pay you? How do you take down the website? So certainly, ARCON will confront some of its own challenges. So if we say that federal government does not want such website to advertise, there might be other reasons why Nigeria needs to see the website. You saw the issue of Twitter at the time, and you saw the implication on Nigeria and Nigeria as a whole. So in managing this, it's important for ARCON to understand that, yes, it is so necessary to have some level of regulation. But more than ever before, we also need to have this conversation with platform owners. And in case where that may not be possible, because there are hundreds of millions of websites or hundreds of thousands of websites, if not millions of websites, that you cannot necessarily manage everything. But when it comes to online adverts, it's important for us to know that we cannot absolutely, in absolute terms, advertise what is going on all websites at the same time. It's going to be practically impossible. Unlike radio, the number of radio stations we have in Nigeria is finite. The number of television stations we have in Nigeria is finite. The number of billboards we have, even though large, but ARCON has offices in all local governments. But how will ARCON manage all website advertising that a Nigeria can see? It's going to be very difficult. So even though the reasons are good, but implementation to the fullest become a challenge. Now, what I know, lawyer will say is that it is only matter reported to court that court can see. It is only the person that we catch. So who are the people that may be that this may have to concern a lot? And there will be Nigerians that have businesses that are known in the real life. So let's say a real estate company called XWY. I want to believe there is no such real estate. Right. XWY or ABC. Now, ABC is known. They know their office. You are not advertising online. ARCON will write you for violation. But if it is, say, somebody that you don't even know the office, it's advertising and they are making their money, how do you manage that? So it's important that ARCON should look for, if this must be implemented, right, they need to look for guys that are in tech, and they can also use AI to help them aggregate what the information is saying. It's a lot of revenue for Nigeria. Let me start with that. What are the implications? Huge revenue for Nigeria. It may also lead to discouragement, which can now be loss of revenue to the people.
Yes, because I was going to ask about the hike
to those advertising. So it may lead to loss of job. But one thing that I can tell you, it will be more revenue to G, a national income component, national income accounting. Government will make more money. Those who are in the industry may lose revenue, especially when they are not convinced. So ARCON have a reason for this education. And that is why I started with education. When you lose job, it may increase poverty and hunger in the land. And it may also have implication on the quality of advert Nigeria can get, because some that are even advertising outside Nigeria, if you are bringing the advert into the place and people cannot have access to it, then there will certainly be loss of revenue.
I mean, you spoke about education now, because I don't know to what extent at which we are aware, or businesses online are aware of the federal government moving to actually regulate advertising. So the question now is, don't you think that awareness should go first before implementation?
I think awareness is important. This law is not new. It's over a year, I think over 2 years, 2 years old already. And awareness level is very, very low. Practitioners on radio, on television, practitioners on OOH, they are fully aware. Many of them through their sectorial group, which include OAN and so on, were informed as to what is coming on. But those who are online have low or little education. And that is why I want to propose that ARCON should take a minimum of 6 months, a maximum of 1 year period, to speak to stakeholders within the industry and go and provide quality education as well as quality communication. Your program, you are an abridged program, you are both online and offline. Yeah. So, and as a reputable media house that does, among other things, television and print media, you come to mind. Because for anybody to put adverts on the Guardian newspaper, now because already you are providing such information to the public already. And people, you have a lot of patronage. The TV station is also getting really popular. And that is why it's important for government to consider this as an option.
Okay, let's look at the effect on market reach and engagement.
Certainly, yes. Certainly, yes. Because Nigeria will be among the countries that want to start this. People will start looking at other markets if they feel the cost of regulation is increasing. Regulation in itself may serve as bottleneck to business as much as they are very important. It's very important for us to regulate. So when the impact and the cost becomes too much, especially as it has to do with foreign models, which you might not necessarily do without when it comes to online, then it might serve as discouragement for those who wants to run some form of advertisement to reach Nigerians. And for most of these advertisements to reach Nigerians, they may have Nigerian office, they may have African office. So if we don't work on this very well, of course, it might serve as major discouragement.
All right, let's look at the challenges, right? What challenges might influencers, small digital marketers face in meeting registration, compliance, data protection, and then standard under this new regulation?
So first of all, standard is key. And to that effect, I would say that practitioners should be sorted. You don't have to be a practitioner yourself to vet. You can partner with an existing practitioner to vet your content, which I think Alcon has made that provision. Registered practitioner can vet for you. Alcon also needs to be transparent. They've been doing that, to be fair on them, to make the price for vetting known. So those who wants to do this, I think it's important they look on Alcon website to look at what are the things that they can do and who they can talk to. Alcon offices in different parts of Nigeria can also provide such advice. Now, it might be a discouragement to them when you are talking to clients that your bill has now increased, unlike what they used to do. But in the short run, I'm envisaging some form of reduction because of demand elasticity. Some form of reduction and discouragement might be what we'll be seeing in the coming period.
Okay, are these regulations likely to improve consumers' trust, or could they discourage innovation and digital entrepreneurship in Nigeria's growing online advertising sector? What do you say about that?
For those consuming adverts, it's going to protect them from consuming junks. For instance, people posting nudity as means of advertisement. Alcon is protecting that in traditional media. 2, those who stylishly abuse a gender to say that men are more important or women are more important. Alcon is protecting against that. A significant part is the issue of drugs. When you say that you are producing drugs, or people should consume some kind of drug that has not been vetted by agency of government, which includes NAFDAC, then protection come. Another one is CBEX. CBEX will make use of online platform to advertise without having central bank license. It becomes a challenge because Alcon can flag that to Security and Exchange Commission, who is also a member of the decision making in Alcon for vetting. So it will form that synergy to protect Nigeria. My concern is, will Alcon provide this quality education for people to know the importance, and will the price also be fair for them to run in the short instance before people get used to it, as is done in the traditional media?
Lastly, Mr. Paul, recommendation for businesses. How can companies adapt to these digital strategies?
Okay, recommendation for business would be, it's a new rule for those in digital space. For those that have been running on traditional space, is not completely new. I know people have been doing this for years. Now, as it's coming to digital space, I think people should sort for education. I think everybody should go on Alcon website. Don't allow digital marketers and all those to defraud you. The prices are fixed for most of the products. So go online, check it for yourself. It is 35,000 in some instances. If you want to do accelerated vetting, normal vetting is about 2 weeks. Accelerated vetting, we have 48 hours, we have 16 hours, and they come at different prices. By next year, you will see different political and people advertising or campaigning for them to do such online. If Alcon will do the mandate given to it and say that they want people to pay, then politicians are involved and so on and so forth. But you know, for now in Nigeria, religious organizations, they are not technically advertising. What they are doing, they are sending out messages. Non-governmental organizations, they are technically not advertising. What they are giving out is messages. For instance, one against polio. I don't think that's an advert. You are providing education. So those people are really not paying for now. Or if you are talking about salvation is free, come to Christ today, you are really not advertising. You are providing education information, or the Muslims are also sharing such information. But for businesses, which are the which are enterprises that are in those for profit, it's important for them to talk to their communication department. If the business is small and they don't have communication department, please go through Alcon website. Most of the fees for now are affordable. You need to check it so that you don't flout the rule. I can tell you that a real estate company has raised similar issue with me. I think real estate company is domiciled in Abuja, and said Alcon wrote them that they should make payment. Well, they were able to appeal that they were not aware. Outcome said, well, ignorance of the law is an offense. At the end of the day, they were able to find a way around it. I also think Outcome should go to scale this information up, talk to media organization, and I'm recommending yours as one of those that should be consulted and to partner with them in making this open for the entire Nigerians and indeed the globe to know that for Nigeria, there is now some level of regulation of advert online, because they have been doing this for time immemorial offline, at least for over 10 years, for maybe 15 years. They've been doing that offline in Nigeria. So extending it to online to protect the people. The arguments are good, but the danger is there. The danger of discouragement, the danger of low revenue, and so on and so forth remains very obvious. But how Outcome we handle this will depend on how they're able to provide the education, the need for it, and perhaps make the price still affordable. What is obtainable offline, if it's obtainable online, then those that want to advertise may see a reason to go there. But you see, the cost of advert offline, for instance, on television, it might be as high as 800, 1 million naira for 60 seconds. For billboard, it might be as high as 80, 70, 1 million, 5 million. So to vet with 35,000 may not be too much far away. But online that you are paying $1 per minute and you are only going for 4 minutes. And we're saying that $1, which is about 1,600, come and use 35,000 to vet it and say for 6 weeks. I think Outcome needs to rethink the strategy so that young people, one of the major employers of young people is this online advert. Outcome needs to know a way to bring them into the fore and to make sure that they can do this vetting virtually without seeing them, because it's an online business. Then I think that from that we can bring more people into the bracket and we can encourage Nigerians that government don't hate them. It's actually to protect the larger population. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Alade, for your intelligent submission. I really hope this becomes a success, because there's a lot to be done. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Exactly.
Yeah, to have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.